Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Ryan. Today's YouTube video has got me situated nicely back in my Scharnhorst here in World of Warships. The map is Shard, it's Domination Match Mode, which I think is the only match mode on Shards. And my team has decided that we are going to push the B and C cap points, since that's the vast majority of where we spawn. And on this map, this side of the map, headed towards the C cap point and the B cap point is usually a better option than heading all the way up to A, considering it is farthest from the spawn. Of course, that's not going to stop some people from heading up there anyway, and that's not going to stop the enemy team from trying to push to the C cap point. For whatever reason, it never fails. C is where everyone is drawn to. I'll tell you what, the Hunt for the Bismarck campaign has been going on the last week and a half, and it's actually proven to be kind of interesting. Occasionally kind of annoying, things like secure 5 citadels in a single battle. Seriously, I have never been trolled so much by RNGesus in my life trying to secure 5 citadels in a single battle. Still though, did finally manage to complete the campaign and is slowly working on filling it out with honors, because, you know, why not go for 100% completion if you have the ability to? And I can honestly say that the Scharnhorst is proving to be one of those ships that is surprisingly good at performing a lot of these tasks. Mainly, hit enemy ships with your main battery guns, hit ships with your secondary battery guns, cause secondary battery damage, all of these different things that tend to become very easy in the Scharnhorst. Now, I get pushed up here to the B cap point. The enemy team very much in the process of capping A, and they are going to cap it basically uncontested, which is going to give them an early points lead. As I push up here into B, I've started taking most of the attention of the enemy team, and so I'm deciding that I don't want to stay here, because it's not worth my time to sit here and get burned to death by all of the high explosive spam. Instead, I opted to run the risk of taking a large hit from one of the battleships and turn my ship broadside and effectively just turn around so that I can maintain my speed as I exit the cap. That's something that I think a lot of battleship players don't fully appreciate and don't fully time correctly. If you're taking a lot of hits like this, probably one of the worst things you can do, especially if it's a lot of cruisers spamming high explosive at you, is to try and stop and bow on tank them. You're just going to get burned to death. Instead, time it, wait for the enemy battleships to fire off their shots at you, and then immediately pull a turn. Run that risk. Yes, you'll probably take some good amount of damage, but as long as you don't take multiple citadels, you should be okay. But get your ship turned around and maintain your mobility and your speed as you get back behind an opportunity to repair, regroup, reorganize, and come back with new priorities. So I do manage to pull off the maneuver successfully. The enemy team has capped the A cap point, and they've managed to kill one of our cruisers. Now you'll notice that this battle doesn't have any destroyers. That's one of the other reasons I was so comfortable pushing up into the B cap point so early on. Enemy destroyers are a serious threat to battleships. They're a pretty serious threat to cruisers though, because your cruisers are a little more maneuverable as long as you're paying attention. But a serious threat to battleships because they can spot you from so far away, allowing your team, or I should say allowing their team, to cause you some serious issues with spotting damage. And then of course they can get into caps and be sneaky little buggers and hide behind islands and in smoke screens. I managed to hit one cruiser for a citadel. There's another broadside cruiser on here. I managed to put my guns out and double citadel this cruiser, but don't actually manage to secure the kill, which is a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to secure that kill as my first kill of the game, Still though, he does get taken out. My team is down 2 ships to the enemy team's 1, and that's not too big of an issue yet. But it's important to remember that in World of Warships, it doesn't matter who gets the kill so much as it matters that the enemy is dead. To paraphrase from a famous general, don't die for your team, make the other bastard die for his. That's how games are won. Fire off shots at this cruiser, very low health, who came around the headland of the island, but my shots don't even reach him before he gets taken out of the game, and my team is now finally in the ship's lead, but again, not by much. However, we are firmly in the process of capping the B cap point, and that is another important aspect to domination match mode games, is securing those caps, securing the points. I've seen far too many games that have been far too close and have ended far too soon because enemies won't cap and won't push up. As a result of not doing either of those things, the other team gets all of the points very quickly. And remember, you can lose domination match mode games if your team hits 0 points. Fire off shots here at this Cleveland who's pushing up, and he's taking a lot of fire from pretty much everything. But they managed to take out one of our cruisers there. We have a second cruiser here that's very low health, and this could be a serious problem. I have my secondaries focusing all their attention on him. Who's going to get the kill here as I get shots off? I managed to secure the kill, and that's going to drop the enemy team just down to a few core battleships and a few cruisers left. But of course they managed to take out one of our low health cruisers as well. That was kind of to be expected. Now we have secured the B cap point, so we can finally start to regain that points difference. And so long as the enemy team doesn't actually manage to cap the B cap point or even get in there and challenge it for a while, we might actually be able to gain the points lead in this process. There's an enemy Scharnhorst that's hiding behind this island here, and that enemy Scharnhorst is performing a tactic that you actually often see destroyer skippers perform. That or light cruisers. But it's also a tactic that is often associated with somebody who's come from a world of tanks that doesn't fully understand the lack of mobility that they actually have in their premium warship. Not entirely sure which category this battleship captain falls into, but he's not going to do a lot of usefulness for his team hiding back behind that island, slowly going backwards and forwards. He is going to be able to cause some damage to anybody who wants to push up around that island, and it's certainly useful to hunker down in position and just do that. But in domination match mode, that really doesn't help you. It really doesn't help your team to sit there and take enemies as they come at you. When in reality, all we have to do is just kind of stay away from you and let our caps do all of the work for us. Fire off torpedoes though behind that island, because it looked like that Scharnhorst was backing up a little bit there, and I'm kind of hoping that he'll just back right into those torpedoes. Still taking shots in there, being lit on fire by this cruiser who refuses to leave me alone, but he does actually switch his focus and attention away because he's set me on fire, and he doesn't seem to be too particularly interested in causing any more fires, which is good for me. Turn hard in as I avoid those torpedoes from the enemy Scharnhorst. Get my torpedoes out on the other side here, and I'm continuing to beat on this cruiser that's sitting at the B cap point. So long as he's sitting there, though, he's challenging the cap point, and he's preventing my team from gaining points as a result of it. He's close enough. My secondaries are opening up on him, and they do manage to hit him, and they do manage to set him on fire, but not actually kill him, and I'm surprised that he's still able to survive. So I get my main battery back off there, manage to overpin him for a secured kill. Start recovering health here, and took a big hit from the enemy battleships that are off back by this island. And looking at the situation, I kind of contemplated whether or not I wanted to rush that Scharnhorst from around the island, but given that he's going to see me coming, even though he's currently focused on other ships, and given that he's got a whole plethora of friendly battleships back over there that could cause me some serious problems, I've decided against it. Instead, I've opted to turn back around again, risking trading damage for maintaining my mobility. In the process, though, I've got myself a broadside battleship to shoot at. Granted, this is the American Tier 5, so he's got some pretty reasonable armor against the 11-inch guns, but that's not to say that I can't cause him some problems by pecking him to death. However, in the meantime, I've got the HMS Hood that's also broadside onto me. I think somebody has forgotten that broadside in a battleship, especially one as big as the Hood, is probably gonna mean a paddling. Still, he's uncontested in the cap, and for the most part, a good chunk of my team is nowhere in position to challenge him. If you can see, a lot of my team was hiding down at the C cap point, which is actually really more annoying than anything else. Getting my ship turned around again, trying to angle against both these battleships here as I recover health once more. And I don't have a lot of these heals left. I decide to take pot shots at pretty much whatever I can while my forward guns get turned around. That enemy Scharnhorst still hiding behind that island, not making it easy to shoot at him. He's got a lot of health. But again, him sitting back behind that island is really not doing anything to help his team, as my team is up on ships, and because we have both caps, we now have the points lead over the enemy team. And again, putting shots out here at these two ships, managed to hit the Hood, but now I've got a broadside cruiser, and it's such a hard decision to make whether or not I want to shoot at the cruiser or shoot at the Hood. Both are beautiful broadside targets to shoot at. Shots out there at the cruiser, and I managed to hit him for a couple of over-penetrations, but no citadels, which is a little disappointing. That Scharnhorst has finally decided that he's no longer going to hide behind the island and instead push up, probably because he realized he's not doing a lot of damage, and probably because he realized he needs to get out here and support his team. Mostly because his team is losing. Managed to citadel that cruiser finally and secure a kill on him. And now, this Scharnhorst who's come out has become the pure and total focus of my attention. He is technically outside of torpedo range, but he is sailing towards me, which means he'll sail into the torpedoes. But because he's maneuvering hard, I hold off on firing them just yet. I'd really like to get close enough to cause some serious problems for him. Fire off the first set of torpedoes here as I turn my ship hard. And the Scharnhorst is more focused on dealing with the battleship that's behind me. All of his secondaries blazing away at that guy. All of his guns blazing away at that guy. He's not even paying attention to me. In this kind of situation, you should really focus your secondaries on the closer target, and focus your main guns on the ship that you know you can kill. Secondaries managed to hit him and set him on fire. Torpedoes managed to hit him but not cause any major flooding, which is a little annoying. Take shots from him, but I turned hard and avoided them. And of course, turning means that I avoided the torpedoes as well. Again, torpedoes hit him, didn't cause any flooding. A little disappointed like that. I like to see that nice little blue ribbon up there. But did manage to kill him. And with his guns out of the game, that just leaves 4 enemy ships left. And while I don't have any more heals left, I certainly do have armor, and I still have my guns, and I still have my torpedoes, so I can still come up and cause some problems. And at this point, I can afford to be a little more aggressive, because the enemy ships that are left are really concentrated on other things. With the exception of that New York that just fired at me. But he's going behind an island, so I'm not too concerned about him in the meantime. Trying to hit and cause problems to this Hood. Again, this Hood pushing up into the B cap point, and again, broadside onto me. Scharnhorst may only have 11-inch guns, but they still hurt. Fire shots out there. Come on. Managed to secure that kill for my high caliber and Kraken Unleashed as we win, pretty much then and there. 160,000 damage done in that game. Confederate Dreadnought, Kraken Unleashed, and high caliber. All of these wonderful heroic achievements. Oh, but what a battle. Hopefully, this battle replay will help you understand when it's a good idea to just go ahead and turn around and run rather than try to back up and reverse or use an island for cover. Top of the team for XP earned at over 2,000 base XP in the game. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you like the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get some regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me in the channel, I encourage you to do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. Donate and support at as low as $1 a month, and that's going to grant you access to my World of Warships replays and screenshots. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see featured on my channel, I encourage you to send it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships among other games live on Sundays for about an hour or two, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I will see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.